Hi everybody, Renegade68 here, with some more Let's Play Danganronpa 2 Goodbye to Spare Blind. Got this remixed investigation theme going on. So apparently, last time, someone killed Nagito! He was the best character! No, he was a villain, I get it. I kind of saw this coming, like early on in Case 4. Case 4? Early on in Case 5, also a little bit towards the end of Case 4, it just made sense that if Nagito was planning to kill someone, I mean, it'd be too obvious if someone died and like, oh, well, Nagito's the killer, so it'd make more sense if he planned to kill someone and then someone killed him. Although that was back, like, early Case 5, before he started the island blowing up plan, which seemed to go against the killing someone plan. Which is actually what backs up my crack theory, that he's actually either still alive or committed suicide or something, because why would the killer, if the killer set the fire, if they didn't, okay, then that's weird, but if the killer set the fire, why would they not burn his corpse? Like, I would think, I'm pretty sure it's common sense that burning a dead body makes less evidence for people to find. But the only reason I can think of that someone wouldn't have burned the dead body is A, the killer is stupid, in which case that's bad writing in the game. B, someone who isn't the killer set the fire, in which case that's getting kind of weird, but okay. Or C, it's Nagito and he's fucking with us. Whatever the answer is, I'm sure we'll find out after, you know, eventually. For now, though, we need to investigate shit. And this is not, this isn't the plushie that gets added to our plushies probably, because it's an actual plushie, which is kind of a shame. As always, I think we start with talking to people in these sections. It mattered for Gundam's killing and for Mikan's, but it looks like it's different this time. Doesn't matter this time. The time, you mean. Yeah. What doesn't matter? The time of death.
So...
Looks like the time doesn't matter. Not necessarily. Well, in Case 3, the time, was hard to pin down, like, from a medical standpoint, which is possibly why Monokuma didn't give it to us. In Case 4... I'm not sure if there was a real reason other than just to fuck with us. So, I don't know, maybe that's true. Or maybe that's just how the time of death appears to be, based on maybe if Nagito, like I said back in Case 2, was doing a bunch of physical exercise. Case closed shit, I learned this from Case closed. Your time of death is thrown off, you do a lot of physical exercise before you die. So, that's also possible. It was clearly written in the Monokuma file. The time of death was noon sharp. If it was at noon, what were we doing at the time? What was we doing at the time? Yes. What were we doing? Well, right now it's
time.
Yes, it's 12:30 time. At noon is when the bombs exploded, right? Roughly. And everyone but Sonya was there, which makes Sonya the most suspicious, which is why Sonya definitely didn't do it. Because it wouldn't be that obvious. So it also has a clock function. That means Nagito died 30 minutes ago.
Huh?
It happened that recently? He's totally a fresh kill! Fresh. Seems like a bad way to describe it. If it happened 30 minutes ago, was it around the time we were struggling with the bombs? Of course, just because he died at that time doesn't mean we all have alibis. I mean, the kill could have been set up in advance, like... Let's say the spear was, I don't know, tied to a rope, like I said earlier. I think I said this already? And then just dropped onto him or something, like at a certain timed interval, or with the fire. But the fire wouldn't make sense, because the fire would have killed him if that was the case. Anyways. You're right, those fake bombs are originally supposed to explode at noon.
Alright!
Which means whoever doesn't have an alibi for that time is Nagito's killer. No, it's not that simple. But this could have been like when Nekomaru died. The killer could have also used some kind of automatic setup. Wow, you know... I haven't realized it until just now, but what you've been saying just now has been smart. You've been saying smart things. That surprises me. Maybe you're the killer, because you're normally not smart. I don't know. Maybe. I hope so. She is my least favorite right now, so of all the people, it'd be nice if she was the killer. If it's not Nagito setting us all up. Also, the crime looks very detailed, so they would have needed time to repair.
Alright!
Whoever doesn't have an alibi before we found the bomb is suspicious.
Huh?
What? Wait, none of us had an alibi for that time. That's when we all split up to search for the bombs. Yeah, that's the problem. Alright, Free Hiko, you're next.
Like...
I'm not freaking out about it like soda cans, but definitely can't stop thinking about it. If Monokuma timer reaches 0 2 days from now, what's gonna happen?
Huh?
Huh? What's gonna happen?
That's obviously wrong.
This rotten school trip is gonna end, right? We can finally go home, right?
Jeez.
Carefree till the end. Does that mean you don't think that'll happen?
Well, yeah.
Monokuma might be planning to make us do something after the countdown ends.
Hey, hey!
Oh, what do you mean, something?
Shut up! Shut up!
He's making us kill each other, you know? What can be worse than that?
Damn it!
I don't know. But this is Monokuma we're talking about, you know? There's no way this will end smoothly with a countdown. Anyway, like I said before, if we screw up here, it's the end for us anyways. For now, let's focus on the investigation. We'll think about the countdown after we live through the crash trial.
I know.
Yeah.
You...
Don't bring up stuff like that. Well, okay. Chiaki, you're probably most important, so I'll talk to you last.
So just as I thought.
What about you, my waifu? If only everyone could go home. Nothing would make me happier. No, we should finish the class trial, then we can think about what will happen after. True enough. What about you, soda cans? One of us killed Naito in such a cruel way? It's too bizarre. I can't do anything except laugh. If it's not Nagito, and it's... I'm just gonna go down the list. If it's not Nagito, and it's not Akane, and it's not Soda Cans, and it's not Sonya, and it's not Fuyuhiko, then it has to be Chihiro. Or Chihiro? Chiaki! I've been watching Let's Play the other game, I can't help it. Chiaki, it must be you! You're the most likely suspect, assuming it wasn't Soda Cans, or Fuyuhiko, or Sonya, or Akane, or Nagito himself. Then it has to be! Okay, Chiaki. She looks like she's deep in thought while staring at the ceiling. True facts, though? I want to believe it isn't true, but from the end of her free time, and from the way she casually did her ID on top of the machine, it's looking like she might be the traitor. I hope not, but that's what it's looking like. Then again, no, Monami said the traitor probably wouldn't remember, right? At least from what I heard. She said something along the lines of the traitor wouldn't remember, or the traitor's already dead, or something like that, so, I don't know. What happened? Is there something strange about the ceiling? There's something strange in my voice?
Yep.
About that sprinkler. That's one of the sprinkler heads that activated to put out the fire.
Well?
You can see a grinder right next to it, right? There. A girder, sorry. Girder. Yes. It grinded up Nagito's meat. Which is why he's still in one piece. I don't know. The one piece of One Piece! Alright, what is it?
See?
See that red streak? Oh, it's up on the ceiling. How'd it get there? Well, I guess if the spear jumped down on him, it would jump, the blood would jump up, so. And it's not red, it's pink. Pay attention, Chiaki. Don't you know what kind of game we're in? Huh? You're right, I definitely see it. I don't. Maybe my TV's brightness is weird? I mean, I can see it in the little picture, but not in the thing. I can kind of maybe sort of make it out, but it's very hard to see without the picture. Looks like a small red line, you mean pink, on the ceiling girder.
Perhaps.
Is that blood? Blood? You mean like real red blood? That's impossible. No, wait, it's pink. Never mind, we're good. The color definitely looks like blood, but there's no way blood could get up there, right? Yeah, well, I mean, if it's up there, it probably is. It's in a straight line. That's why I've been staring at it. I think it's strange. Oh, by the way, I haven't mentioned it yet, but that spear sticking in Nagito was probably taken from inside the Nezumi castle. It's definitely strange. I should remember this. Blood on the girder has been added to the truth. Of course, talking to everyone else yields nothing, but when I talk to Chiaki, I get something. Of course. So let's check that as we always do. Victim body was discovered inside the warehouse. Estimated time of death is believed to be noon sharp. That's weird. Why is it so precise? Not only is there a spear stab in his stomach, there are multiple stabbings on each of his thighs. There's a lactation on his left arm and a knife impaled through his right hand. Maybe it's so precise because it just happened? Maybe. Faint red line was on the ceiling girder inside the goods warehouse. Oh, while I'm thinking about it, I should probably show you my new present. I never did that, did I? I got some more panties. And they're right next to Chiaki's. I wonder if there's actually meaning to that or if it's a coincidence. Sonya's favorite regal undergarments, the modest lace conveys an air of refined sophistication. So, can Monami wear these? Like, is that it? I don't know, maybe. Anyways, so, let's see, what's there to examine? We can't examine the ceiling. We've got his body himself. We've got lighter. Is that different? Lighter, fire grenade. Two different things, even though it doesn't seem like it's different. And then we've got Monokuma plushie. And is that it? Seems like that might be it. Yeah, okay, so we'll start with the plushie. Can this get added to my plushies? Monokuma's dead! There's blood coming out of his stomach! Hey. No response. He's dead, Jim. I love Monokuma. You're gonna have to be a better villain now, Monokuma. Come on, the best villain died, so you're gonna have to step up your game. Just kidding! I'm not dead! Is this one of the life-size plushies that were being produced at the factory? If you're mistaking a plushie for me, then there's something wrong with you. You're a stuffed animal too, you know.
Hey!
Don't put oversized garbage there. It's so misleading.
What the heck?
What are you calling garbage? Could this be one of Monokuma's tricks? Then why'd he do it? Making a hole like it got stabbed and going to the trouble of dirtying the hole with blood? Did he try to imitate Nagito's body or something?
What are you saying?
I had nothing to do with that. Maybe someone used it as a... Maybe somebody used it, like, as an attempt to... Before they did the real thing? Like, maybe Nagito himself? Because, I mean, if it was Nagito and he was killing himself, he'd have to make sure he got it right the first time. I don't know, maybe. I don't know. It's seeming like it's possible, definitely.
You're so evil.
He's probably lying. I don't know, I trust him more than I trust you. At least with him, I know he's admitted he's evil. You? I don't know. Like, you're still a mystery, so I trust him more than you. Seriously, you're always lying. You should just die like that plushie over there. What happened to love? That's not very loving.
What's this?
You seem more pissed than usual these days, Monami. But you better watch what you say. If I feel like it, I can wipe you out easily, you know. I won't give in to your threats. I'll fight you until the very end.
I can't lose.
I'll definitely take back the seat of world supremacy for Monokuma. World supremacy? Looks like the annoyances are gone. Well, the annoyance. Monokuma's not annoying. He actually was helpful. He told us that he had nothing to do with this. I didn't think he had anything to do with this, but it's good to get clairvoyance? Clarity? It's good to know for sure. If it wasn't Monokuma's trick, then who did this? Could the killer have done this? If so, is this Nagito's blood? I have no idea how this connects to the incident. Monokuma plushies added to the truth bullets. So take a quick look at that, as always. It would have been cool if I could have been level 69 when I beat the game. Such a shame. Life-size Monokuma plushie found on the floor near the fire's origin point. Oh. It has a huge bloody hole in its stomach as if it was stabbed. Let's see, what else? We also have the body is going to be last, as always. The lighter, and then the fire grenade. Looks like a bunch of plastic bottles. Reminds me of What? Looks like a bunch of plastic bottles or remnants. Oh, not reminds. God, I gotta get better at word reading. Remnants of plastic are scattered all over the place. This is probably... Those fire grenades we used to put out the fire. They didn't do anything that put out the fire. The sprinklers put out the fire. Your grenades did nothing. In fact, it seemed like they made the fire worse. If I had to guess, someone got rid of the other fire extinguishing equipment ahead of time and replaced the real fire grenades with like fake grenades that just made it worse. I don't know who would do that, but someone. So, nah. Maybe it was Nagito. I mean, because if this was all the killer's plan, then they should have burned Nagito's body to erase evidence. Like, that's why I think it makes sense if Nagito did this. They weren't actually that useful in the end. The fire was only extinguished thanks to the sprinklers. Nevertheless, the evidence really isn't all that strange. And what about the lighter? This is... It's an old lighter. An oil lighter. And it's probably old, too. This is where the curtains would have been hanging. It also looks like the fire did extensive damage here. Maybe that's where the fire started? If the oil lighter was placed here...
Just kidding.
An oil lighter. Someone probably wanted to keep warm.
Bring it on.
It's a most foolish thought. This is clearly the cause of the fire. Then who would have been able to cause it? Sonya is one guess, but that would be too obvious. Other than that, unless the fire was on some kind of timer, it could only have been Nagito, so...
Well?
Oil lighters can continue to burn even after someone lets go of them. Ah.
Which means?
So using that, the curtain was set on fire. Using the oil lighter, huh? Do you think the killer set up some sort of trick with it?
You are right.
The killer probably planned to destroy evidence by setting this warehouse on fire. That doesn't make sense. Why would you not burn Nagito's body? In which case, you know, that in itself would erase a lot of evidence. Not doing that is either idiotic on the killer's part or clever on Nagito's part. You know, because he wants us to have a fighting chance of figuring out that he's not dead. I don't know. If this is the killer's doing, then this is just plain stupid on their part. They caused a fire to destroy evidence? That's the only reason I can think of why a killer would set fire to the crime scene, but he said but. He realized it doesn't make sense. They should have burned Nagito's body too. Let's take a quick look at that. Oil lighter. Found at the fire's origin point. It looks like this is what caused the fire. And all that's left is the body itself. The body himself. I never expected Nagito to die like this. I didn't expect him to die till chapter 6, if at all. I mean, he's a villain, so I kind of understood the possibility, and even though I said I kind of saw this coming near the end of Case 4, near the beginning of Case 5, it was the kind of thing where it's like, it would make sense, but I could also understand if it didn't happen, because Nagito's that kind of character. But, and in the end, one of my many theories was right, so... He was always spouting nonsense about hope and trying to confuse the hell out of us. Not really. Sometimes he confused the hell out of you, but sometimes he was just being bluntly honest, and you guys just wouldn't hear it. Even so, dying like this is just too cruel. Also, he wasn't completely useless. There were times we were only able to reach the truth because of him. There was one time where he was like, "Hey, Monokuma! Wink wink! Maybe the witnesses in this case, wink wink, have something to do with it, wink wink. Do you guys agree, wink wink? What are you talking about, Nagito? You're crazy. The witnesses have nothing to do with the murder. You guys are all fucking stupid. Ugh, Nagito, you were the only smart one." Like, seriously, that was such a dumb case, but also such a dumb moment. Everything good and bad about him is gone. We'll never be confused by again. We'll never be saved by him again. No. Now isn't the time to think about unnecessary things. I need to focus on the investigation right now. For now, I need to investigate everything about this body that catches my eye. Let's start with the eye. Let's see here. We've got the feet, the spear, the face, left hand, burnt rope. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, was he being hanged from the ceiling? He was being hanged from the ceiling then? And then the fire caught... Why wouldn't it burn his body then? How would it not reach here? I don't get it. Unless it was set up on purpose to not reach here by Nagito. And then this isn't anything? Does that just connect to the spear? His face is actually what interests me the most, believe it or not, so I'll do it last. Feet. Both of Nagito's legs are tied up. Each rope is tied to the pillars nearby. He wouldn't have been able to move at all. According to the Monokuma file, the wounds on his legs are all stab wounds. Does that mean the killer didn't just tie Nagito, they also stabbed his legs? Why would the killer do something like that?
Damn it!
At any rate, it's pretty sadistic. The killer must have been holding a huge grudge toward him. That could have been any of us. Or they might have been torturing him. Torture?
Huh?
I mean, if they just wanted to kill him, they could have just stabbed him once in the chest, right? If you disregard the spear in his chest, the other wounds were inflicted for reasons other than killing. Which means the wounds all over Nagito's body were from the killer torturing him? If that's the case, what was the killer trying to make Nagito confess? Was it something that would have led to the traitor?
Even so.
Even if this was torture, there's no doubt the killer must have held a deep grudge against Nagito.
Damn it!
Refusing to let him die easily. I can totally understand a dark impulse like that. Even if they held a grudge against him, would they really have gone this far? Would they have? Maybe this is Nagito. I don't know. That's my crack theory right now, and I'm sticking with it until I see some explanation for why the killer wouldn't have had the corpse burned with the fire. Spear. A spear with a flashy ornament on it is impaled deeply into Nagito's stomach. There's no way around it. That looks like the fatal wound.
What's this?
Oh my, what's this? Such a strange looking spear, isn't it? It looks like the spear from the Nezumi castle, which you probably haven't seen before because you're afraid of mice, right? I thought that was elephants. A cord extends from the tip of the handle, and there's an iron weight attached to it. Cord extends from the tip of the handle, and there's an iron weight. Yeah, so he was probably suspended in midair, yeah, because the burnt rope suggests he was suspended in midair, and it also suggests the spear was suspended maybe even higher in midair? Maybe.
Phew.
I see. You use the cord as a whip to capture the enemy and deliver the final blow with the spear. Is this your first time looking at this too? Of course not. This is the spirit of Gungnir, right? Gungnir? Like from the first game? Although in the first game there were multiples. You definitely just came up with that now.
Hey!
By the way, I want to ask you, where'd that spear come from? So does he really not know? Is he just playing us, or does he really not know anything about the inside of Nezumi Castle? I feel like I saw it at Nezumi Castle.
What?
Nezumi Castle?
What the hell?
I was designed to be afraid of mice, so I can't go in there. Sure you can't. Damn you mice, damn you all to hell! Sure. Even he doesn't know what's inside that castle, so he says. More importantly, I need to focus on this investigation. The spear definitely catches my eye, but the weight on the end of the cord coming out of the handle... It looks like that part has blood on it too. But for some reason, this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. Oh, that is weird. Now, why would that be? It's about the size of a human fist. It's strange that this section of the cord doesn't have blood on it. Human fist. Then maybe that's what it is. Maybe somebody had their hand around it, and we're doing something with it. Beating Nagito with it, with the bell end of it, and then that's why that part doesn't have blood. If that was the case, though, the killer would get massive amounts of blood on them if they were doing it that way. Also, Chalky mentioned this earlier, but apparently the spear came from Nezumi Castle. Might be better if I confirm that later. Spear of Gungnir has been added to the truth bullets. Nice. It now has 2 victims. Hey! The victim of case 5, both times, is killed by the Spear of Gungnir. It's great. Spear impaled through Nagito's stomach. A cord with an iron weight at the end of it extends from the back of the handle. For some reason, only the section where the cord and weight touch is bloody. As if someone was holding it. Let's see. Left hand. There's a cut on his upper left arm. His legs and right hand have stab wounds, but this wound looks like a slice. Oh? That's probably the reason that the wound on his left arm doesn't look that deep compared to his other wounds. Oh, okay. I guess that would make sense. Slice versus stab, huh? Yeah, slice wouldn't be as deep. Regardless, doesn't change the fact that it's a hideous wound and there's blood everywhere.
Super difficult.
Something strange. What's that? Strange how?
See?
Look at the palm of his left hand. I think the blood is from when his left arm was sliced, but... Doesn't the blood splatter look strange? It cuts off right in the middle of his palm. As if he were holding something, like the cord. Holy shit! Is my crack theory right? Is Nagito doing this all along? I don't know if he actually committed suicide or if he's still alive and somehow faking his death, but that would make sense. If his hand was holding the cord, his blood would get on it, but not the inside of his hand. Anyways. Definitely cuts off. Maybe that's as far as the blood could reach when it splattered. That would explain the blood in his palm, but there's something else that's strange? When you flip it over and look at the back of his hand,
Well,
there's also blood, but only above the middle joint of each finger. Very intriguing. As if he was punching something? Maybe? Wait, no. That wouldn't make sense. The opposite of punching something. I don't know. Holding something? No. Holding a murder weapon. You're right. Why is it only on this part?
see?
It's just as I said, right? It's strange, right? I win. What? Yeah, sure, you win. I don't know what you win, though. If I'm right, Nagito either killed himself or is faking his own death, then I definitely win. It's definitely strange. What did the killer do to make the blood splatter like this? Button left hand's been added to the truth bullets. Burnt rope. I'll get to that after the knife. The knife is stabbed through Nagito's right hand. Did the killer do this? How could they do something so cruel? This knife, it must be from the military base. And you were at the military base! That makes you look suspicious! I'm sure it's not her. Unless they double subvert. Military base? Now that you mention it, you're right. It looks like a survival knife.
Well,
By the way, it seems the wound on his legs and left arm were caused by that same knife. That's likely. Which means after the killer was finished stabbing Nagito's legs and left arm, they stabbed the knife through his right hand?
it cannot be.
And then they finished him off with the spear.
How cruel.
Yeah, indeed. This is definitely the most sadistic killing we've seen yet. In both games, I'm pretty sure. Then, does that mean the killer went to the trouble of using two weapons, a knife and a spear? But they could have just killed him by stabbing him with a knife. Why'd they need to use a spear at all?
You are right.
That is definitely strange. Unless Nagito planned this all along and that's the whole point? Yeah, maybe. I mean, otherwise, what's the point? Unless there's two different killers or something. Which is also a possibility, I suppose. Still, though, doesn't explain why Nagito's corpse wouldn't get burned by the fire. Unless it was set up that way. Again! Was there a reason they had to use it? A reason they had to use the spear, huh? Survival knives been added to the truth bullets. And then burnt rope. Nagito's right wrist is tied with rope. But it looks like the tip of that rope is burned off. Could this be a result of the fire? But that's weird. If the rope is burned off like this, why are Nagito's clothes completely unaffected by the fire when he was so close to the blaze? Exactly. It doesn't really make any sense. In fact, why would that be? Why would the rope be the only thing burned? Maybe he was put out. Maybe somebody put out the fire after the rope was cut off really quickly on Nagito's body. It's very intriguing indeed. Finally, his face. He must have been in great pain. He clearly had this agonizing look on his face when he died. His mouth is covered with duct tape. Was this to keep Nagito from screaming for help? Then how exactly would he confess to anything?
This is bad.
What a horrible look on his face. The blood splattered all over. It doesn't help either. It's a good thing his mouth is covered with duct tape. Otherwise, I wouldn't be able to look at him. Got a minute? Sorry, excuse me. Shall move past soda cans and me and squatted down next to Nagito's face. Oh? And in one swift movement, she ripped the duct tape off his mouth. That's good thinking, but what is it going to prove? Hey, what are you doing?
It's gonna be fine.
It'll be fine. I'll put it right back away once I'm done investigating here. We should investigate that. I mean, leaving it there is kind of silly.
Hey!
Putting the tape back on isn't the issue. You ungrateful swine, you're gonna get cursed! The blood on Nagito's face looks like it mostly came from the slice on his left arm. if that's the case,
Man.
it's no use. She's not listening. No one wants to listen to you anyway, so can you comfortably.
Hey, hey.
But the blood splattered on his face. What about it? There's no blood under the duct tape. In other words, the duct tape was put on before any cutting starts. In other words, how would they have even confessed? It's all looking strange. All of it. Maybe my crack theory. Maybe.
Huh?
What's wrong with that?
Well,
This duct tape has crinkles, like it was sticking toward the inside of his mouth, right? Sticking toward the inside of his mouth, I suppose. He was probably desperately moving his mouth under the duct tape. Like trying to scream for help? What's wrong with that? Which means Naruto's mouth was covered with duct tape before he got those wounds all over his body. So he tried to shout, which caused the duct tape to get sucked into his mouth a bit. But what's wrong with that? Is that something we really need to worry about? I don't really get it, but just put the duct tape back on his mouth already.
yep.
Yeah, you're right. Don't want to contaminate the crime scene too much. Anyway, this might be some kind of clue too. I should remember it. Oh boy, level 72. Duct tape's been added to the truth bullet section of your handbook. Even if I did get a new skill from Sonya, and I had 3 new skills, one from Usami, one from Sonya, one from Chiaki, I probably still wouldn't reach 72, as far as all the skills I'm equipping goes. I guess I'm done with the area surrounding Naruto's body. Jeez, I can't believe I actually investigated such a grisly-looking body. Even I'm surprised at myself. Does this mean I'm used to it? That's a scary thought. As Junpei said in 999, getting used to the death is the most scary thing of all. My classmate's dead body is right in front of me, and one of my peers is the killer responsible, and you're used to it. And I have to investigate his death so I can find his killer and not die myself. Am I used to something as abnormal as that? That would mean I'm becoming abnormal too. Now then, I guess that's enough investigating the area behind the curtain. So what's next to investigate? The killer's goal wasn't just killing Naruto, there should have been another reason as well. If not, they wouldn't have gone through the trouble of tying him with rope and covering his mouth with duct tape. Not just that, there's no reason to inflict any wounds other than a fatal one. So, what was the reason? Would it be to get him to confess something, in which case, why the tape? Looks like I better investigate other areas to figure that out. Alright, I should try investigating the other areas inside this warehouse first. Alright.